There are many definitions of economics. Here's one. Economics is the study of how society manages its scarce resources. The key concept in almost all definitions of economics is scarcity. And scarcity is the fact that we have limited resources but unlimited wants. Now, scarcity is at the root of economics. If we did not have scarcity, we would not need economics. Because if we had unlimited resources, no scarcity, then we would never have to make any choices. And economics is a study of the choices that we have to make. Now, the problem of scarcity is how to ensure that everybody makes choices that leads to the completion of all the tasks that have to be done in society in a timely fashion. It is as Robert Heilbronner wrote in his book, The Worldly Philosophers. A modern community is at the mercy of 1,000 dangers. In a word, if any of 1,000 intertwined tasks of society should fail to get done, industrial life would soon become hopelessly disorganized. Every day the community faces the possibility of breakdown, not from the forces of nature, but from sheer human unpredictability. Over the centuries, man has found only 3 ways of guarding against this calamity. We have found 3 ways of solving the problem of scarcity. First, tradition. He has ensured his continuity by organizing his society around tradition, by handing down the varied and necessary tasks from generation to generation according to custom and usage. Son follows father, and a pattern is preserved. Second, authority. Or society can solve the problem differently. It can use the whip of authoritarian rule to see that its tasks get done. They ensure the economic survival by the edicts of one authority and by the penalties that supreme authorities see fit to issue. And as long as the problem was handled by tradition or command, it never gave rise to that special field of study called economics. The economists waited upon the development of an astonishing arrangement in which society assured its own continuance by allowing each individual to do exactly as he saw fit, provided he followed a central guiding rule. And this is the third approach, the market. The arrangement was called the market system, and the rule was deceptively simple. Each should do what was to his best monetary advantage. In the market system, the lure of gain, not the pull of tradition or the whip of authority, steered everyone to his or her task. And yet, although each was free to go wherever his acquisitive nose directed him, the interplay of one person against another resulted in the necessary tasks of society getting done. Economic theory today has a strong emphasis on the market and how market forces lead to the efficient, the best allocation of resources, both right now and over time if we have economic growth. But we need to remember that the concept of the market is relatively new. It's a new concept, and it's also not widely spread across the entire globe, at least not as widely as we think here in the United States or in Europe. In fact, the idea of gain is a relatively modern one. As Professor Heilbronner argues, it is not true, as we are often told, that the profit motive is as old as man himself. The profit motive is only as old as modern man, and even today the notion of gain for gain's sake is foreign to a large portion of the world's population, and it has been conspicuous by its absence over the most of recorded history. The market system is therefore a recent invention, 17th century. Note that the market system is not just a means of exchanging goods, which is indeed an old concept. Rather, it is a mechanism for sustaining and maintaining an entire society. So we can conclude that the market system is relatively new and is not as widely spread as we often think it is. Nevertheless, in this course, we will be focusing on the market structure as the way to explain a lot of things.